Welcome, everybody. We're glad you're back for another Wes Live. Here we go. We're excited about getting an opportunity to meet with you and to praise God with you tonight and just to turn our hearts to Him. I want to give just a moment for folks to get online with us. I know we're doing this, that it is time to give God the praise He is due. What a worthy and holy and magnificent God we serve. So I'm going to see if I can pull you up here on my phone so that we can converse a little bit while we're at this. There we are. There you are. Glad to see you. Hey, Judy. Hey, glad you are a part of this. Joseph Knight, thank you for joining us. And we'll have some others who will step in here. We're running a little behind schedule tonight, I see, but I'm hoping that folks will catch on, see that we're around, and will join us for some time of praise and worship. It's been a kind of an interesting week for us over here. I had a bit of a fall yesterday, ended up in the ER in Wise County. I was trying to walk, and my feet got faster than my body did, and I ended up face planting, or at least arm planting. My shoulder's a little sore, so I'm not going to be playing the guitar tonight. I'm going to let that heal up a little bit, but my fingers are still good and still ready. So we're going to do some praise and worship tonight. Hey, Danny, thank you for joining us, and Christy, and Lena, and we're just delighted to see you. Hey, Lindy, how are things out your way in Louisiana, my friend? We're excited to see you here and to have some time to give God His praise. We're going to start out with one of my favorite songs. It is a reminder that it is not who we know, it is not what we know, it is who we know that matters. And I know lots of good people, but God is the one that I put my faith and my trust in. And He is the one whom I have believed in. And so we are going to sing about that tonight. Why don't you, the words will be on the bottom of the screen. Why don't you join me in singing this great, great hymn of faith. I know not why God's wondrous grace to me He hath made known, nor why unworthy Christ in love redeemed me for His own. But I know whom I have believed and am persuaded that He is able to keep that which I've committed unto Him against that day. Unto Him against that day. I know not how the Spirit moves, convincing men of sin, revealing Jesus through the Word, creating faith in Him. But I know whom I have believed and am persuaded that He is able to keep that which I've committed unto Him against that day. I know not what of good or ill may be reserved for me, of weary ways or golden days before His face I see. But I know whom night or noonday fair, nor if I'll walk the veil with him or meet him in the air. But I know whom I have believed, and am persuaded he is able to keep that which I have committed unto him against that day. And I know I have believed and am persuaded that he is able to keep that which I've committed unto him against that day. Are you singing along with me out there, Joseph? I'm telling you, he is worthy of our praise. Hey, Grady, Jennifer, thank you for joining us tonight. We are here to give God praise. I hope that you are ready and willing to do that, and that you will let your friends know that we're involved in worship tonight. We are here to give God our praise. And this is an old song that says it pretty well, that we are giving God praise because he is worthy, and he is the one who is the source of our music. How's that? We don't have to come up with it on our own. The Spirit of God moves within our heart, and when he puts the song in our heart, it's only natural for it to come out. And so this song says it pretty well. Here we go. There's within my heart a melody, Jesus whispers sweet and low. Fear not, I am with thee, peace be still, in all of life ebb and flow. Jesus, 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 sweetest name I know, fills my every longing, keeps me singing as I go. Feasting on the riches of his grace, resting neath his sheltering wing, always looking on his smiling face. That is why I shout and sing. Jesus, 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 sweetest name I know, fills my every longing, keeps me singing as I go. Soon he's coming back to welcome me, far beyond the starry sky. I shall wing my flight to worlds unknown, I shall reign with him on high. Jesus, 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 sweetest name I know, fills my every longing, keeps me singing as I go. Feasting on the riches of his grace, resting neath the sheltering wing, always looking on his smiling face. That is why I shout and sing. Jesus, 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 sweetest name I know, fills my every longing, keeps me singing as I go. Jesus, 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 sweetest name I know, fills my every longing, keeps me singing as I go, keeps me singing as I go. Amen. It's Jesus that does that. Our relationship with him, he keeps us singing. Hey, Donna, thank you for joining us. Glad to have you on board. Linda, thank you for being here. It is time to give God his due, to give him his praise. I hope that you are ready tonight to do that. You know, it's not based on how we feel, because I frankly don't feel so hot. I've got a busted shoulder, and I've got a hand that kind of got bruised up, and It was not a pleasant thing to fall. I guess what the lesson from that was that it's not healthy to go for walks, because I sure crashed and burned. But I'm doing okay. I'm going to be fine. I'm back on my feet again. Tomorrow I'm planning on getting back out there and walking again. I'm walking about 3.5, 4 miles, doing it about 4 days a week and trying to stay healthy. I hope that you're doing that too. I'm telling you, I told y'all last week in our Wes Live that God had done a work in me through a doctor in Tyler, Texas, where by the time he was done with me, I was off of all of my heart meds, and I'm only taking CoQ10 and I'm doing 400 milligrams of CoQ10 every day. I take that. I don't swallow them. I just chew them up and then swallow them. I don't swallow the pills, and it has taken my heart and made it healthier. My ejection fraction in my echocardiograms have gone from 35% all the way up to 50% in about a year, and by November of this year, I expect it to be normal. Now, that's just amazing to me. I'm healthy. I'm singing again. I'm able to. I'm not sleepy anymore. I'm not fatigued. I'm able to think clearly, or it doesn't seem like it right now, but I really am. And it's an amazing thing that God has done through this doctor in Tyler. His name is Peter Langson, as Felicia says. Langson, Langsjoen. And he utilizes CoQ10 in his treatment of heart disease. And it's been amazing, the results that I've had, and a lot of his patients are experiencing the same thing. So I love it. I love it that God is doing that. And I've hoped and prayed that I would get healthy again, and by George, I'm doing it. And so if any of you are looking for some help on that, if you want to give me a call, I can talk to you about it, or you can text me, or you can send me an email. But I don't get any kickback on this. All I get is the joy of telling you that there is a doctor out there that uses something besides traditional medicines to heal your heart, and he's doing amazing work. He's been researching it for all of his life. As a matter of fact, his father started the research, and he is an amazing doctor. Hey, Gene, thank you for coming on board. Joe Knight, thank you for being with us tonight, and I appreciate your statements online here. Hey, Corey. Linda Rutherford, glad to see you. Are you ready to praise Jesus with another song? Well, this one is one that you don't know, I don't think, unless you followed me for a few years. But this is a song that I wrote years ago. I was living actually in Hale Center, Texas. If I've got any West Texas folks joining me tonight, I was in West Texas, and we had an instance in Hale Center where one of our farmers was involved in an awful accident, and as a result of the accident, he lost his life. And he was my age when that happened. He and I were friends, and we worked together there in the church, and he was just a delightful gentleman. Mr. Schwartz was his name. And it really grabbed me when this happened to him. My mortality really became clear to me as we went through that experience of his untimely death. And one of the things that happened, in a small town, you wear a lot of different hats. I was on the emergency team, the EMT team that went out to the field to find him. And then when I got back to the house and discovered that he had died, the funeral director called and asked me if I would come and help him prepare the body for burial. And it was just, death was just confronting me there in those moments as I looked at a guy who was my age, who just the day before had been healthy and happy and working with his kids and his family, and then here he was, and he was gone. And so this is a song I wrote kind of mulling over that whole thing. It's called Live the Day, and I'm doing this one tonight because Felicia asked me to. It's a song that she particularly enjoys, and it goes like this. I want to live this day. Let me start that one over. I want to live this day as though it were the last day I might live, as though tomorrow were the day my King returns. I want to give each gift as though it were the last gift I might give. I want each moment to overflow with love. I can't know what tomorrow holds for me. There's so much uncertainty, but I can live this day and savor its taste. I might live as though tomorrow were the day my King returns. I want to give each gift as though it were the last gift I might give. I want each moment to overflow with love. Sometimes I hurry through my day and I don't see the one who means the most to me. But on this day I'll dare to show them that I care, and I'll be the man God meant for me to be. I want to live this day day I might live, as though tomorrow were the day my King returns. I want to give each gift as though it were the last gift I might give. I want each moment to overflow with love. I want to live this day as though it were the last day I might live, as though tomorrow were the day my King returns. I want to give each gift as though it were the last gift I might give. I want each moment to overflow with love. Amen. I want to live this day as though it were the last day I might live. That's an amazing, amazing thought, isn't it? Hey, Craig, great to see you tonight. Glad you are my friend. It's just an amazing thing to think back through the years and the ways God has moved in our lives, starting way back in Hale Center, where I wrote that song. An amazing thing. Hey, Lily, glad to see you tonight. Linda, what a delight to see our friends. Gene, thank you for joining us. We got one more song that we want to share, and we want to give God praise with this one. It's a prayer. Some of the most beautiful songs in the hymnal are songs that were written as prayers, and where we are able to just turn our hearts and our thoughts towards God and just to give Him our deepest love and our deepest praise. And this is one that I particularly enjoy singing and worshiping with. Why don't you just join with me? Would you just sing along? even if there's somebody in the room, just have them huddle around the computer with you and look at the screen and sing along with these words, because they will speak to you. They will minister to you. More love to thee, O Christ, more love to thee. This is my earnest plea. Let me start over. I messed up. That's the nice thing about doing this live, is even if you mess up, you can just fix it, right? More love to thee, O Christ, more love to thee. Hear thou the prayer I make on bended knee. This is my earnest plea. More love, O Christ, to thee. More love to thee. More love to thee. Once earthly joy I craved, sought peace and rest. Now thee alone I seek. Give what is best. This all my prayer shall be. More love, O Christ, to thee. More love to thee. More love to thee. Then shall my latest breath whisper thy praise. This be the parting cry my heart shall raise. This still my prayer shall be. More love, O Christ, to thee. More love to thee. More love to thee. Let sorrow do its work. Send grief and pain. Sweet are thy messengers, sweet their refrain, when they can sing with me. More love, O Christ, to thee. More love to thee. More love to thee. More love to thee. More love to thee. Well, that's our prayer tonight, isn't it? That what God would just fill our hearts with more love for him, the one who has given his all for us. Hey, Sarah, thank you for joining us. And hello to Molly Dog. I don't think we've met, but that's all right. Sally, God bless you. I just want you to know we're praying for you and for Gary in these difficult days for you. God is on the throne, right? And we are trusting him as we look forward. What an awesome and amazing God we serve. Want to be in prayer this week for some friends of mine out in Muskogee, Oklahoma. Mike Smith, who was the pastor there at First Methodist, has just passed away, and we want to give him the benefit of our prayers as we look toward him and say, God, we trust Mike into your hands. He had a very short and tragic battle with a disease that took his life. And I was just with him just last year in revival in Muskogee. What a delightful time we had. And we were with him before that in Ponca City, and we have known one another across these years. And a delightful brother, and I just was shocked when he went home. So pray for his family tonight before you go to bed, and so many that we just are asking God to have mercy on. If you've got a prayer need, be sure and let us know so that we can lift that up for you and be a partner with you in asking God for his help. I just delight in getting the opportunity to worship with you here and to experience God's grace in these times of just resting in him and resting in his presence, because I know whom I've believe it, and I'm persuaded he is able to keep that which I've committed unto him against that day. Because I trust him, he makes me sing. Even in times of pain and grief, I can sing because I know he is with me. And so I will live each day as though it were the last day I might live. And I will spend my time trying to build a relationship of deep love for my God. How about you? Isn't that what he calls us to do? Isn't that what we find our greatest peace in doing? It's just loving him. If you do have a prayer need, you can send it to Wesley at wesleyputnam.org. We would be delighted to spend some time asking God on your behalf to do his work in you. And then you can also send that to that email address. You can send any song requests that you might have for future times of worship. Just be sure and do that. And if you would like to become a donor to this ministry, you can do that at this give.wesleyputnam.org/give, wesleyputnam.org/give, or you can text to give at 833-617-0041. Just type the word give and then the amount that you would like for our ministry to receive. We need your help keeping this ministry alive and active and strong. It's looking different right now than it ever has, but we are, someone said if the door closes in front of you, and that would be the door of going into local churches right now, then look for the window. Well, here's the window. I get to come to my computer and to look at you and to express God's love to you this way. And I think God can do it effectively. So thank you again, and we will be with you. Oh, also, you can send letters and contributions to Wesley Putnam Ministries at Post Office Box 1714, Decatur, Texas 76234. Well, God bless you, keep you, and make his face to shine upon you and give you his peace. And we will see you again next Friday night, 8-ish. All right? God bless you, and we will see you then.